Hello everyone, my name is Christina. I'm back with another monthly bullet journal setup. I wish I came out with this video sooner, but this past weekend was my baby shower and we had so many friends and family in town, so I had zero time to edit and finalize this video. But if you are new to the channel, I've had a 70s theme for my 2022 bullet journal. So with that being said, the theme for this month is a disco ball. While I'm getting started, if you've been following my journey here on YouTube, you might remember that I have created a disco ball bullet journal theme. It was actually a Taylor Swift spread inspired by a folklore song called Mirror Ball and Invisible String. The overall bullet journal theme was warm, so it wasn't silver, it was actually gold. So, you know, this month I have to change it up, make it 70s. So the disco ball for this setup is gonna be silver. I'm taking a random gray pen I own and outlining the lines in the middle of the disco ball. I didn't want my disco ball to be one flat color. I wanted to have some sections reflect like a real disco ball. So I used this Sharpie metallic permanent marker, which was a pain. Like right now it's working perfectly fine, but in a second you'll see the ink just coming out profusely. You know, just whenever it feels like it. But yeah, that sucked. The thing is, that happened a couple of times before I really got fed up and I had to look for a new marker. And luckily, I found one. It's the Archer and Olive acrylographs from their metallic set. And it's so much better. It writes better. I love how the acrylographs write. I don't know why I didn't check my acrylographs first, because I ran into this same problem when I was creating the Taylor Swift Mirror Ball bullet journal setup. So yeah, pregnancy brain. But yeah, I'll leave a link for these markers in the description and my discount code as well, which is Christina10 for 10% off. So the shiny section is done, and now I want a matte gray for the rest of the disco ball. The marker I'm using is, the best way to describe this is if you have like a 72 pack or a 100 pack of the Crayola fine tips, find the lightest gray marker. I know, I wish there were names on these markers to help identify what color I'm using. But yeah, that is the one I'm using for the matte sections of the disco ball. Now that the disco ball is done, I'm going to pick up my bullet journal for you guys and angle it so you can see how the metallic reflects. And wow, it looks so beautiful. I love how this turned out. Next, I'm adding some sparkles around the disco ball, and then I'm going to add some like rays behind the disco ball. And I think the rays make it a little bit more, I don't know, three-dimensional than without it. It kind of looks flat. The color I'm using for the rays is a Tombow dual brush pen in color N75. Another design choice I had to make for this spread to emphasize that 70s look is the text. Honestly, this year is the first year I've attempted hand lettering. In the past, I felt like I don't know, like taking the time to hand letter something, especially a font I'm unfamiliar with. It was just wasn't on my radar. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to waste time like that. So I'd always rely on stamps and stencils. But then when I actually gave myself time to do it and got it on paper, I don't know, I'm just always happy with how it turns out. Especially having a font that does look very 70s, it elevates my bullet journal spreads. So lately, when I'm looking for a font, I'll just research 70s fonts, pick something that fits the theme, and sketch it out in my bullet journal before I shoot the video. So the name of this particular font is called Wonderbar. I'm so proud of how this text turned out. The marker I'm using for the dark gray, which is the same gray I used on the previous page for September, is a Tombow dual brush pen in the color N35. And then for the text on and the, I'm using the silver metallic acrylograph I mentioned earlier. Last month, I created an orange monochromatic lava lamp bullet journal theme. So walking into this month's bullet journal theme, I did not intentionally make another monochromatic bullet journal theme. That was not my intention, but here we are. It's the complete opposite of last month. You know, last month was very colorful, bright, very groovy. And even though this one is groovy too, it's just, you know, multiple shades of gray. It's just not as vibrant. The 2 pages I'm currently working on are for the monthly overview and a section for my goals and events. I hate recording the part where I draw in the calendar for the month because, I mean, one, it takes up space on my hard drive. But you all know how it's done. You know, I'm not doing anything special. I'm using a ruler and a rounded corner, and that's it. Although, if you like this setup for your monthly overview and would like to recreate this in your bullet journal, I am using a size A5 bullet journal. The size for each day is 5 spaces in length and a width of 3 boxes. So you have a slimmer shape with this setup. However, a slimmer shape means you can't necessarily write in the boxes. So instead, I usually use icon stickers to identify when bills are due, paydays, events, and my YouTube schedule. I love a minimal monthly setup. I'm adding this shiny washi tape to the border of the next page. It looked a little naked over there with just the outlines of the disco balls. So this washi tape adds a lot to this page. The following 2 pages are my habit tracker and brain dump. I'm sketching out a disco ball at the top of the left-hand side and coloring that in with the markers I used earlier. Like the monthly overview, I hate recording me writing in the mini calendars for the habit tracker. It, for one, takes a long time to do it, and it also just takes up so much space on my memory cards. And I also noticed that when I did record that portion, I never used the footage in the final cut. So recently I just stopped recording when I get to that step. A brain dump section is something I recently started adding to my bullet journal setup, and honestly, it is so valuable. It comes in handy when I just need to simply make a list. Sometimes you just need a place to jot down ideas or list out a to-do list without due dates and things like that. So creating this space gives me the freedom to use my bullet journal to its full potential. For this spread, I've had to look at my whole marker and pen collection and gather all of my gray pens. So I've used a handful of different ones from different brands. So the brain dump section looked a little plain, so I decided to take the passion marker in gray and highlight every other line. I decided to use the passion marker because the ink isn't so saturated. It's very light in color. So if you were to use a pencil or pen, your writing would be legible with the passion marker. Alrighty, so the last 2 pages are for my weekly setup. And the only thing I could think of for this setup is drawing out 7 outlines of the disco ball, and each disco ball represents each day. But I don't know how I feel about this setup. It just seems, I don't know, it's not fun. I know I'll eventually add the silver shiny washi tape to these 2 pages, but it just, I don't know, it's not doing it for me. So I'm not feeling this weekly setup, but I couldn't fit 7 disco balls, so I worked in 6. So the 6th one will be for Saturday and Sunday, just the weekend. As I said, the spread is, I don't know, plain to me. So I added a disco ball and colored it in to fill the dead space. I also found some random shiny Passion Planner stickers. And this is when you know I'm desperate, because I'm using random stickers, but I think it works. It's silver, reflective. The stickers are inspirational. It goes along with the theme, but anywho, that is it for my September Disco Ball bullet journal theme. Here is the flip through. If you are still here, thank you so much. I'm going to be coming out with my sister's September bullet journal setup, and it is a vintage theme in the next week or so. So please consider subscribing to the channel and clicking that notification bell. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!